relations. So coming to the basic definitions and relations. So this is the phase diagram, and it's I think I've been telling always that phase diagram is most important. So any time you deal in the geotechnical engineering syllabus, the entire syllabus you are associated with phase diagrams. So whatever level of study you are, it might be graduate or postgraduate or PhD level also, this phase diagram plays an important role, and the formulas from this phase diagram also are very important, and you have to have them on your fingertips. That means you must be able to be that quick that you have to tell the formula immediately. So coming to the soil phase diagram, so any soil sample will be having three parts. I mean three ingredients in it. One is soil solids, other one is water, and other one is air. The solids are nothing but the soil particles. Water is nothing but water and air are filled in between the soil particles. So the soil is always called as three-phase system, and we represent it diagrammatically in this way. So it is generally the normal way, and this is the schematic diagrammatic way. So soil mass is a three-phase system and composed of liquid, solid, and gaseous matters. So voids, that is space enclosing the solids, liquid phase in what is water that fill partly or wholly. So voids are not, soil particles. The gap between the soil particles is called as voids, and these voids are either filled by water or air also. So that is why the soil is called as a complex metal, because it's having many ingredients in that. So coming to three-phase diagram, if you see the diagram to the right side, you have a three-phase soil system that is showing the relations between volumes and masses of the given soil sample. So right side you have weights and left side you have volume. So talking in terms of weights, you have WA is nothing but weight of air, WW is nothing but weight of water, WS is nothing but weight of solids, and the sum of all these three weights will be the total weight of the soil sample W. So coming to the volumes, we have VA as weight of air, VA is volume of air, VW as volume of water, and VS is volume of solids. And combinedly, the volume of air and water is also called as volume of voids, that is VV. And the sum of all this is called as total volume, capital V. So this is what we have given here. So total volume will always be equal to volume of solids plus volume of voids. So volume of solids is denoted by Vs, when volume of voids is denoted by Vv, which can further be written as volume of solids plus volume of water plus volume of air. So total volume is equals to that. And coming to the total weight, so total weight is equal to weight of solids plus weight of voids. So weight of solids is denoted by Ws, and weight of voids is denoted by Wv. So Wv is nothing but weight of water plus weight of air. So that is Ww plus Wa. We know that air is not having weight, so it is assumed to be 0. So that's why weight of solids is equals to Ws, that is weight of solids, plus Ww, that is weight of water. So total weight W is equals to Ws plus Ww. Total volume V is equals to Vs plus Vw plus Va. So that is regarding the three-phase diagram. So now we are going to discuss about, we are just revising about two-phase diagram. So three-phase diagram to two-phase diagram change, there will be two cases. One, the soil should be completely filled with water, that is the voids will have solids as constant here. So from in the three-phase diagram to two-phase diagram, what is constant is the soil parts, that is weight of solids or volume of solids is constant here. Only thing that is changing is air and water content. Suppose the three-phase soil system, we have solids, water, and air. So now coming to two-phase, in first case what will happen is the air is completely filled by water. That means in the soil there are only solid particles and water particles. At that case, the soil is said to be saturated. That means it is not having any air, it's only having water in the voids. Then the three-phase system will be changing into the two-phase system shown on the right side, that is the saturated soil. The second case is that the voids are completely filled with air only. That means all the water in the soil is completely evaporated and it's only having dry soil and the solids only. So that is called as dry soil. And if you can see, the phase diagram is as shown in the left hand side. So this is a two-phase system of dry soil and this is a two-phase system of the saturated soil. So coming to the fundamental definitions, that is the void ratio. These definitions are also very important so that you will be able to find out the, you will be able to develop the relationship between all the other all the other quantities in the three-phase or two-phase systems. So coming to the fundamental definitions of void ratio is always noted by E, small alphabet E, and it is equals to the ratio of volume of voids to volume of solids. So volume of voids to volume of solids. So it is noted by VV by Vs. So volume of voids divided by volume of solids. By definition also we'll write it is the ratio of volume of voids to volume of solids. It's always expressed, it will always have a value greater than 0. So sometimes it may be greater than 1, but technically it's not feasible. So void ratio for coarse grain soils generally is then for void ratio for fine grain soils. So void ratio అంటే ఏంటంటే మనకి ఇచ్చిన total soil sample in which the volume of voids to the volume of solids. So in the given soil sample, how much is the volume of voids when compared to the volume of solids? So that is what we'll get through void ratio. So it is equals to VV by Vs into 100. So these are based upon the grain structures and grain arrangements also. We'll have void ratio involved. So the next important definition is porosity. It is the ratio of volume of voids to total volume of soil. Previously, void ratio is equals to volume of voids to volume of solids. But here it is volume of voids to total volume, capital V. It is equals to VV by V into 100. It will always be in the range of 0 to 100%, and it's always expressed in percentages. And it's also called as percentage of voids. And it's noted by N or neta also, we can say. We have the relation between void ratio. So I'll tell you the relations later. So degree of saturation, S, it is noted by capital S. It is the equals to volume of water to volume of voids into 100. That is volume of water to. So what we will find out here is in the total volume of voids, what is the volume of water we have to find out. So that is called as degree of saturation. So it is equals to VW by VV into 100. So for fully saturated soil, it will be 100% or 1. For dry soils, it will be uh, 0. So the range is 0 to 100%. So that is degree of saturation. Next is air content. It is noted by A to the suffix C. It is volume of air voids to volume of voids. That is, we'll be finding out how much amount of air voids are present in the total amount of voids. So VA by VV into 100 for a saturated soil. So there are no air voids, the value will be equal to 0. And for a dry soil, as it is only having air, it will be equals to 1. So the range will be 0 to 1. So next, percentage of air voids. So percentage of air voids is denoted by N to the suffix A. So volume of air voids by total volume. So into 100. So air voids in this we'll be finding out percentage of air voids. That means how much percentage of air voids are present in the complete soil sample. So that is why we are taking total volume as the denominator. So VA by VV into 100. For saturated soils, it's obviously 0, and for dry soil, it will always be equal to 1. So next is water content or moisture content. These both are synonymous words, so which is of utmost importance throughout the geotechnical engineering. So water content is nothing but it's the ratio of weight of water to the weight of solids. So in the given soil sample, what is the amount of water that is present to the when compared to the solids that are present in the soil. So it is noted by small letter W. It is equals to weight of water divided by weight of solids into 100. So that is equals to WW by WS into 100. And it can have any value greater than 0 and cannot be greater than 100% also. So next one is bulk density or mass density denoted by gamma. So it is equals to total weight of soil by total weight of volume. You know that density is equals to weight by volume. The same thing it's given by W by V, and weight W is nothing but weight of solids plus weight of water, and V is nothing but weight of solid plus weight, sorry, V is nothing but volume. So it is volume of solids plus volume of water plus volume of air. Next, dry density denoted by gamma D, gamma to the suffix D. So it is equals to weight of solids by total volume of soil. So total soil sample, we will be finding what is the amount of solids present in the total volume, total soil sample. So it is equal to WS by V. That is weight of solids by total volume of the dry soil. So this is gamma sat, that is saturated density. So it is nothing but weight of soil when the soil is fully saturated divided by total volume. It is equals to W by V. So when soil is fully saturated, we have WS by WW divided by V. Next, submerged unit weight. It is called as gamma dash. It is denoted by, so it is equals to weight of the solids in submerged state divided by total volume. So gamma dash is always equals to gamma sat minus gamma W. Remember this formula well, because whenever we are supposed to find out saturated submerged unit weight, we will be finding out saturated unit weight and subtract unit weight of water from that. So that is how we'll finding out submerged unit weight. In this, we'll have the principle of Archimedes, like using the principle of buoyant forces. So unit weight of solids, gamma S is equals to weight of solids by volume of solids. Next comes specific gravity. It is denoted by capital G. It is a ratio of weight of a given volume of solids at a given temperature to the weight of equal volume of distilled water at that temperature. So as per IS code, we'll generally considering 27 degrees of normal room temperature for measuring G. So it is equal G is equals to gamma S by gamma W, that is unit weight of solids by unit weight of water. It is equals to WS by WW for the same volume. So generally the soil value of G will be equals to 2.6 to 2.8. So we have to get all, so whenever you calculate for G, the value should always lie between 2.6 to 2.85. So coming to the unit weight of water, everybody know unit weight of water, but it is varying like based on the units. So whenever it is considered in kilonewton per meter cube, we have to take it as 9.81. So whenever it is given in gram per centimeter cube, we take it as 1. So apparent or mass or bulk specific gravity, it is having three different names. It is equals to gamma by gamma W, that is the ratio of bulk unit weight to unit weight of the water. So it is equal to gamma by gamma W. So these are some basic definitions which we are having. So next we'll be revising we'll be discussing about the relationships based on these definitions and the other relation with other properties which we have learned till now. So